AI agent costs become useful when we can trace them back to who created value. In this module, we'll connect tags and metadata to teams, products, tenants, and workflows, so reporting can support accountability, budgeting, and better decisions. So far, we've built the pieces: FinOps foundations, AI cost modeling, quality and value metrics, and observability. Now the question shifts. Once we can see what agents are doing, how do we assign their costs to the right products, teams, workflows, and business outcomes? Agentic AI rarely spends money in one clean place. A single workflow may trigger models, tools, retrieval, APIs, and cloud resources. If all of that lands in one shared bucket, nobody owns it. Allocation turns messy usage into accountable decisions. Cost allocation works best when every agent cost can be viewed through several lenses. Technical dimensions explain what generated the spend, such as the application, agent, workflow, model, tool, region, or environment. Business dimensions explain why the spend matters. Which product, customer tenant, feature, cost center, or revenue stream benefited. Operational dimensions explain who is accountable and how the workload should be governed, including owner team, SLA, risk level, data sensitivity, and production status. The principle is simple. One tag is rarely enough. Accurate chargeback comes from combining dimensions. Granularity is a trade-off between accuracy and operating burden. Coarse allocation, such as assigning spend to a department or application, is acceptable when metadata is limited or the cost is not material. Intermediate allocation gives teams accountability by tying spend to products, agents, workflows, or environments. Fine-grained allocation supports margin and pricing decisions at the tenant, feature, request, or task level. But more detail is not always better. Excessive precision can add instrumentation work, expand data volumes, increase privacy risk, and create noisy reports. A good tagging taxonomy turns raw AI usage into accountable cost data. Start with required tags that every request must carry: application, agent, workflow, environment, owner team, business unit, and cost center. Add optional tags when you need deeper slicing, such as tenant, feature, experiment, provider, model, or evaluation run. Standardization is critical. If one system says prod, another says production, and another says pair D, reporting breaks. Use controlled vocabularies, validate tags at ingestion, and maintain a registry that defines each tag, its owner, valid values, and examples. That is what makes cost analysis trustworthy. The core discipline is straightforward. Attach context once, then carry it everywhere. At the entry point, the request receives identity details like user, tenant, agent, and cost center. As it moves through orchestration, those details travel with trace IDs, run IDs, and workflow IDs. Every downstream action, including LLM calls, tool use, vector searches, and infrastructure events, must be enriched with the same metadata. Finally, observability and billing systems preserve that context in logs, metrics, traces, cost records, and exports, so spend can be traced back accurately. Treat the API gateway as the first control point for cost and accountability. When a request arrives, authenticate it using the token, API key, headers, or routing rules. Then, extract the important context. Who is calling? Which service or application is involved? And which tenant or business unit owns the usage? Before invoking expensive AI workloads, validate that required allocation tags are present. At the same time, create durable request, trace, and session identifiers. Finally, forward only enriched protected metadata into downstream services, observability, and billing, with sensitive values redacted or tokenized. Orchestration is where attribution often breaks. One agent run can branch into plans, tool calls, model calls, retries, memory lookups, and evaluations. The fix is to carry the same allocation context through every nested action. Start with a workflow identifier, then add agent run, step, and individual LLM or tool call identifiers. Tag the purpose of the traffic as well: production, test, experiment, batch, or automation. Finally, capture orchestration drivers like loop count, retry attempts, tool fanout, and approval gates. Together, these details give cost data a full execution path. Raw telemetry is not allocation data yet. logs, traces, metrics, events, billing exports, and LLM usage records all arrive with different formats and identifiers. The pipeline first normalizes them so a request, token, container, or service hour can be compared consistently. Then enrichment adds business context: owner, product, environment, cost center, customer, and service catalog metadata. Finally, usage is joined to pricing, including model rates, infrastructure rates, and vendor invoices. The result is a cost warehouse that can support accurate dashboards, reports, alerts, and chargeback decisions. With measurement in place, cost attribution turns raw spend into accountable ownership. Direct attribution is the cleanest case. Charge the agent, workflow, tenant, or request for exactly what it consumed. Shared services need allocation drivers such as token volume, request count, active users, or compute time. Some costs need finance-approved rules, especially platform services, evaluations, shared environments, and central AI teams. The goal is not perfect precision. It is transparent, documented, reproducible logic that stakeholders can understand and trust. The LLM bill is only the center of cost to serve. A real model also captures embeddings, vector databases, storage, tool calls, orchestration compute, monitoring, evaluations, and human review. For shared platform costs, avoid spreading them evenly, just because it is easy. Use consumption drivers where you can requests, documents indexed, workflows executed, review minutes, or evaluation runs. Keep innovation and prototype spending separate from production economics, so experiments do not distort product margins. When metering is incomplete, document the allocation logic. Assumptions are acceptable when they are visible and revisited regularly. Showback changes behavior before chargeback begins. Give each team a clear view of where AI spend comes from: the application, agent, workflow, tenant, environment, model, and time period. Then connect dollars to the drivers behind them, like tokens, tool calls, retries, latency, errors, and quality. The most useful reports do not stop at monthly totals. They show trends, anomalies, and cost per successful task. Finally, make every insight actionable with recommended fixes, accountable owners, and links back to traces and workflows. Showback is the trust-building stage. Teams see what they consume and learn how costs are allocated, without immediate financial consequences. Chargeback raises the bar. Now costs affect budgets, cost centers, internal billing, or product P&L, so accuracy and agreement matter much more. That requires strong tagging, clear allocation rules, exception handling, and stakeholder sign-off. Governance automation helps enforce those rules continuously, flagging missing tags, unapproved models, budget thresholds, or unusual usage. But chargeback should never reward blind cost cutting. Pair it with quality and value metrics so teams optimize spend responsibly. The key idea is simple. Tagging turns observability into accountability. Capture metadata early, carry it through every gateway, workflow, model call, and tool, then allocate costs across the dimensions that matter to the business. Showback creates visibility. Chargeback adds ownership. Next, we'll use this allocation foundation to build dashboards that guide executives, engineers, and FinOps teams.